Broadcasting live from the World Wide Web, delivering the news 24/7 and the best Filipino entertainment in an online television. Blockbuster movies, great shows, music videos, and more. Serving the Filipino community in Northern America and the rest of the world. This is MCBN.TV, connecting our world.
How to live a motivated life when life pushes you down itself. Now, my other guest, well, a past guest, Loisa Aquino, she mentioned that, the best place where you're going to be when you hit rock bottom is actually when you hit rock bottom. Because at least you're actually standing on the rock, which is the solid ground for you to rise above. So today we'll be joined by Randy Bocao, a well-known public servant, and Marky Yu, an artist, crosswave radio host, and also a humanitarian who will share their wisdom and their journey to path to success where there are highs and lows. So join us and stay connected.
Favorite Tickets, your trusted Filipino travel experts. We offer daily hot deals, 24/7 customer support, Tagalog-speaking agents. Seats are limited. AS Favorite Tickets, the only travel agency you need.
Brother, love you. Ain't nothing in the world like having my brother. Heaven smiling, having my own brother. Take a chance on this bromance. You've got to take a chance on this bromance. You've got to take a chance on this bromance.
It's awe-inspiring. It's overwhelming. Black Diamond Event Management. Kusina ng ating bahay, Bayview Financial Incorporated in association with TFC, Mystique Mix Creative International, at Kabalen proudly present One Magical Night, November 10th, an exceptionally special Saturday evening with the love teams of today's Silver Screen: Catherine Bernardo, Daniel Padilla, Janela Salvador, Elmo Magalona. It's a weekend of awe dahil kasama dito si Waki Kiray at ang positibong si Neki. One Magical Night, November 10th, Toronto Pavilion, your official media partner of One Magical Night, MCBN Media Group. Caregivers, unite! Your show is here! ATC, eto tayong mga caregivers. Caregivers na nasa ibang parte ng ating mundo o nasa Canada mismo, sama ka na sa palatuntunang tutugon sa iyong mga hinaing, sasagot sa mga isyong bumabagabag sa inyong damdamin. Pag-uusapan ang mga temang napapanahon at mga hamon sa buhay ng mga caregivers ng kasalukuyang panahon. ATC, kasama ang inyong ating ATV Pagaduan. This program is brought to you by Action Honda, where car ownership is made easy.
Okay, we're back. So we're talking about how to live a motivated life. Sorry, excuse me. What we're just talking about with Mark earlier, Marky, right?
Yeah.
Marky, you.
I asked him before, are you Tagalog? Where'd you get your last
I
name?
know.
Yes, my
Now,
son's name.
well, I was saying that in our community, Filipino community, it's hard to actually talk about motivation because
True.
not a lot are motivated, or it's kind of like it's a foreign word.
Mhm.
Why is that?
Ano, what's Tagalog motivation?
I don't know.
That's a good question. It's a foreign word.
That's the first question.
What's
That's why it's
the
a foreign
Tagalog
word.
of motivation? Okay.
Oo
Yeah.
nga pala, no Tagalog.
Well, it will come later.
Motivasyon.
Hindi,
But the
English
thing is,
pa rin.
like, we try to shy away. I think that's what I'm saying.
That's
We
true.
try to shy
Yeah.
away when there's, well, look at that. Like in terms of the politics, there's a 300. I always say that's 300,000 Filipinos in Ontario, right? So it should full of them be running, or at least,
Only
right?
three went out and vote.
Worst thing. And but we do shy away from the limelight. We do shy away from being so engaged in the community, even it's not a Filipino community, or even like a greater part of being part of the Toronto or Canada. We do shy away.
That's true.
Is that
true.
a Filipino? I'm not stereotype, but that's us being Filipino.
That's a good question. You know, right after the election, I keep thinking to myself, it's my second election, right? So every time election comes, like either I was the one who runs or I was the one who support to the candidate, I keep thinking this to myself. I think it's becoming typical. It's not just a Filipino, but since we're talking about the Filipino community, it's becoming normal that when talking about volunteerism, people are hesitating to help one another. Either they're shy or they cannot see themselves being helped also when they go volunteer. They shouldn't ask that way anyways. I don't know why, but there are lots of people, not just a Filipino, that they volunteer, but before they go out and volunteer, they have to ask, what do I get in return?
I agree.
What's in it for me?
Yeah, what's in it for me?
Is that a
kickback.
Filipino thing, or is this like a general
Well, if we will filter to the Filipino majority are thinking that way. Yeah, so it's not just an election. I think it's also like when you go for a fundraising that's really for the community. But if you go for a business fundraising, that they can be seeing these artists, they can be part of the stage, and they can be part of the picture takings and the video like that, and they go out in front right away.
But when it comes to engagement,
Engagement.
in terms of a cause,
Yeah.
like, we do shy away, or
We do shy
not
away,
shy
that's
away, but
indeed,
we
yeah.
choose not to be part. There's a difference, though. Being shy away means like I don't have anything to contribute. Like I don't want to be part of it. But not being engaged is
Yes.
choosing not to engage.
However, when go back to the election, if ever that candidate wins, they're the first one who comes out and celebrate. Just like what happened June as the Heritage Month for Filipino in Canada, right? There was only like a few dozens that's involved in that committee pushing to get to the parliament. But during the reception,
There's a lot of people.
there's a couple hundreds who came out.
It's
Because
eating
free
time.
food, yeah.
It's eating time. That's kind of what I would use the word hate, but not necessarily mean hate, but it's like what I don't like about it. Like when you go to an event or something that it's not successful, and even like so one time I attended kind of like a school board kind of like meeting and engaging a Filipino community, and one of the parents said like, it's hard to bring the Filipino parents or most Filipinos to be part of what's happening in the school system. And one of the trustees said, make sure that you have food, they'll come out.
Free
It's almost
food.
like really for me,
Yeah.
hearing that is embarrassing. Embarrassing,
Indeed,
like hearing
indeed,
that that's
yes.
the reality. Embarrassing enough that's the only way that we can come out.
It's like we have to bribe someone to go out.
Okay, so that's the question. Why is that?
That's a good question.
Well, your work,
Mark, what's your
as
first
I would say that you're a humanitarian, you're a crosswave radio host, you're an artist, you have doing a lot of stuff to help people, and you're sharing me that's your passion, right? And like inviting people to be part of it, probably it's a big challenge as well.
Yeah, it's actually a big challenge inviting people, especially performers. Yeah, because like what Randy said that they're looking for what's the catch, right? I mean, are you going?
Kukuha ko?
Yeah, are you going to
Yeah.
give me a
Yeah.
talent fee or something like that? So it's hard to invite like Toronto artists, let's say, and then when you ask them to sell like some tickets for the fundraising, they're hesitate to sell it. So I don't know. It's like it's about volunteerism, right? But then they're not. They just want to perform, but they don't want to like go extra mile to help the fundraising event. So
When we talk about motivation, there's a lot of there's something behind. It should be coming out from your gut. Like this is what you want to do.
That's true.
Being in a public service, how do you motivate your life? Like how does it
That's a
go
good
for you
one.
to forge ahead? Your journey is so much like probably have given you, of course.
Yeah.
Like that's only kind of like that's the kind of like a good way to stand up and rise above again. But how do you do that?
That's good. Let me do a rewind. Like back in early 2014 or late 2013, when I decided to join the political arena in Toronto, I never asked someone or nobody told me to go out. However, a couple of people who gave me a motivation to go up and rise and start it. Because without starting it, you don't
You'll
get
never
to
know,
that.
yeah.
You never know, right?
Yeah.
So one of them that gives me motivation was the previous liberal for the what you call this one, Scarborough Center, Attorney Ralph Fabregas, right? And then he motivated me to join the politics world, right? And then that happens. Also, I help just during that time. I help also the school board trustee for TCDSB, Gary Tanoan. I helped his first campaign for replacing Senator Junenberga because Junenberga turned into a senator, right? So that it became a vacant seat. So I helped him. So that didn't catch me that much yet during the Gary Tanoan. But when I saw the Filipino trying to help Ralph Fabregas to become the candidate of Scarborough Center, I said to myself, I should go out and start it then myself. Because we know that he didn't make it. So I introduced myself in Scarborough, rather in Scarborough Center, I went to York Center. That's how I knew everyone, this radio station, those people, you and him, and everybody. It's contact
It
like
just
that.
open up.
It
like, for
opens
you.
up, yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes me motivated by someone who, I guess, they got motivated by the community also.
So what
Right.
makes you continue?
What makes me
With all
continue
those
to the next
challenges.
4 years?
Yeah.
With all the challenges, because indeed, people laugh at you.
Yeah.
Majority of people that you know,
Yeah.
your family, your direct family, they could be laughing at you. But hoping also they want to help you. But that's how they express, like they laugh at you. Even your close friend, they laugh at you. But they don't really mean to laugh. That's just how they communicate with you, like, hey, go ahead. I'm behind you when you win.
Okay, they're not hold
They
it.
go like that.
That's a default of Filipinos then.
Yeah, when you win, I'm there. I'll celebrate with you.
We put a sense of humor in a sarcasm, but
Yes.
again, that's another
That's
like,
very
probably
true.
conversation. But go ahead. So, like, how, like, because part of I think the reason why I also invited you because there's so much wisdom on what you're doing right now after the election. I don't want to emphasize the failure because at failure, like I said, when you hit rock bottom, it's a good way kind of like to start you. At least you're standing on a solid ground. you yourself, like, how do you started to get up again? Because you have so much invested in it. You want to
Yes.
serve.
Yes,
That's all it
absolutely.
matters.
That's
You
all
want to
matters.
serve.
We want to serve,
Yeah.
but of course, we gotta get paid while serving.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
cannot serve to the community without getting paid. We have family, right? So that's why we're hitting for some a position that we can be paid. We can always serve without being paid. That's no problem, but that's not counted as actual public service, right? So I'm not sure if you're aware back then when I was in University of the East in Manila, I was an athlete, right? Anyone who wishes to have a gold medal, silver medal, they need to work hard, very hard, and you keep failing to get the medal. I never get a gold medal in my life. I had a few silver medal, so I never have a gold medal. And the coach kept telling me, just keep on practicing. And don't expect yourself that you will win next competition. If you do that, because you're either you're so prepared for that competition, or you're the people that you're competing with, that they are not prepared, or they just lose it, or it's not their time and it's your time. It's always like that. So as long as you prepare yourself for the big competition, chances are you will win the gold medal,
True.
right?
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
Practice makes me-
But say nobody's perfect.
Yes, practice makes perfect, but of course you have to plan how to win the medal.
Yeah.
Even if you keep on running 25 kilometers every day, after 4 years to win the marathon medal for 25 kilometers, you end up like you cannot run anymore because you fell, you hit by the bus last night.
Oh,
So that's a
terrible.
big failure, or it could be like it's not your time to go to that competition.
It's
I
like
like when you
timing.
say that. Whether it's timing or not, like it's almost like that's what I'm saying. Like how for you to push through, how you were going to push through if life itself keeps on like putting us some kind of like roadblocks,
Yeah.
and you yourself like experienced that.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy for you to be where you are right now.
That's true.
Like what we're talking about, like people would see what's in the forefront, but behind what's
What
happening
you're doing,
behind.
yeah. What you're doing behind the
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah, yeah.
So like yeah, when I was in the Philippines, my father died, right? So my mom went here in Canada. After 2 months, my father died at the age of 45. So I'm with my siblings. So there's no parents. So I'm the one who I was the one who take care of them, who manage the finances. So it's really hard. And that's December 14. My father died, and it's gonna be Christmas, right? So there's no parents. So I think that's where I get my leadership, or that's where I get the strength right now. So yeah, so the thing that keeps me motivated is yeah, it's for my family and the goals, and what else, the goals, and then um my wife, my kids. So they're the one who keeps me motivated all the time. And also I have to make like to-do list, or yeah, to-do list every day, and I have to cross it out. So if I cross it out, I feel good,
You
right?
kind of set you
Nice.
you kind of have your set your habits
Yeah.
for success.
I have a
Yeah.
routine that every day. I have
You
a
use
routine
your
every day.
iPhone or you use the paper
I
itself?
have I love writing.
Nice.
Yeah, I love writing and crossing it out. I don't know. I'm that kind of person. Like I write everything and then cross it out whenever it's done. I
Yeah.
feel good whenever I do
It's a
that.
conscious effort.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
conscious effort.
I'm trying phone,
Yeah.
but then I don't know.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't feel
work.
me satisfied.
I know.
I have
I
to
know
write it
one.
down.
Anna's probably watching. We were having a meeting, and she showed me like we're trying to set another meeting, and she showed like us like a look. I'm using the old calendar way, all my kind of like schedule. So don't worry. A lot of people, successful people like Anna does that.
Yeah, they still bring their 365
organizer.
pages
That's right.
organizer.
Like a calendar throughout the year.
Yeah.
Generally, us as Filipinos, so we're saying that we know why we do what we do, because it's all really we're family oriented, we're close
Yes,
knit, like
definitely.
this is all for them. But at the same time, you need to ask kind of like, is that the reason? Is that really the reason why? And when are you going to focus on you so you can serve others, serve yourself to take care of them? Like I think kind of it's almost like backwards. We work 2 to 3, 4 jobs, is that the right way to help others, help your family, like causing you to sacrifice
That
your
can be
own?
it. Yeah, like me, I you asked me before why did I choose to run again or going to run again? I said to myself, I have two girls, they're only 14 and 10, and I have two nephews, think 19 and 15. So I'm hoping one day that they'll realize that if their father or their uncle didn't make it to the election, they're hoping one day they'll open their eyes that they can go out and serve the public and run for public office.
It's like you're role modeling to
I'm
them
role
for their
modeling to
future.
them. Yeah. So I brought them to the campaign and they complain door to door. We're talking like kilometer to kilometer walking door to door. My wife and my mom, my brother, and they all stop at me. I said, you didn't even do door knocking. You were just putting the flyers of the food in every mailbox, right? So, but the start is always hard. It's always tough.
So, yeah, the
But
beginning.
when you think of the outcome that you will meet people, and then when they open the door and they're so happy to know you, because every 10 doors you knock, there's only 4 people that opens you. That's the survey, and there's only one. You get the vote. The maximum is 25%, right? So that's why you have to door knock lots of doors then. So I told them that you will not understand this yet, but going forward, when you become a full-grown adult and you become part of the community, you become active in the community somewhat, you may not be part of a public office, but you will open your mind that helping the people through this kind of community, either Philippine or multicultural community in GTA, you're helping yourself also.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
gonna be a
that.
long
Yeah.
term. Yeah.
And for
Yeah,
long
it's a
term.
long term. It will be a
Yeah.
bonus that you get elected. That's a big bonus there. Yeah, but like I keep telling to myself, I don't really care if I don't get elected. I got a minimum expenses. It's not like the other candidates. They're spending 10, 20,000. I'm only spending a few thousand of dollars. I raise fund with, but that's very little.
Yeah.
But somewhat, I don't go for any vices. I'll put my money here.
Yeah.
That's my spend.
What's
You
the
do it
biggest
for
learning
yourself.
for you?
Well, the biggest learning for me is you will never get a vote until you knock on the door. That means that if you don't introduce yourself, you will not know that person also that what he is, and you will not learn from that person because every day is a learning.
Yeah, learning process every day.
Election or not, it's a learning. It's like today I'm learning you and learning from this show also, right? I'm learning the lights is a little hot and my jacket is hot.
We'll learn that later that you need to take that off and you'll be like a,
Maybe
a
you
brand
need an
new
iced
person.
coffee. Maybe you need an iced
Yeah,
coffee.
everything and every day is a learning.
Yeah, true. I agree
Unless,
with that.
or even if you sit down on your couch and watch the NFL or hockey every night,
You
you
can
learn
learn
that they won.
something.
You know, the question is, yes, we learn.
Yes, we learn.
Yes, we gain kind of like the wisdom. But the main question is, what are we going to do with that? Are we going to do something about it? Are we going to be conscious and actually like, yes, I want to do something? So when we come back, we're going to talk about that. We're Facebook Live. If you have questions or comments, that we are getting real here. So please stay connected. So now you can take it.
Initiate transmission now.
MCBN TV. It all starts with PinoyRadio.com, trailed by Crosswave Radio. Now comes a new kind of entertainment that connects us all. From our motherland, the Philippines, to the land you chose to migrate, the world we knew then and the world we know now. Streaming live 24/7 anywhere on earth. Para sa to, kabayan. This is MCBN TV, connecting our world.
AS Favorite Tickets, your trusted Filipino travel experts. We offer daily hot deals, 24/7 customer support, Tagalog speaking agent. Seats are limited. AS Favorite Tickets, the only travel agency you need.
At UMS Healthcare College, earn your diploma and NACC certification for personal support worker program in 6 months. At UMS, you can get the best education for PSW program and committed quality training through our healthcare staffing agency. Register with us today and receive 15% off on your tuition. Visit our website, umsmed.ca, or call at 416-495-9000.
Stand the test of time, from a sight, a sound, or scene. There's a love that's felt right in your heart, where the magic all begins. Anywhere you go when the music plays, you smile and it's okay. For the radio, our song is played, the love that's shared today.
PinoyRadio.com. I love Filipino music.
Okay, we're back. A lot of people kind of like watching, but I know I want you to have some questions as well. So yeah, so let's go back. Now, I think yeah, what are we gonna do with that learning? I think that's where I left off.
Or
Do we
how about you
respond?
say the people like how to motivate them also,
How to? Yeah,
how to motivate them as well, yeah.
yeah.
I think the only person that can be able to help you is yourself.
Mm,
So at the end of the day, whatever happens, you're still the one who will, decide for
mm.
yourself. You're still the one who will, you know, it's you. It's you gonna help yourself. So I
You know
think
what's so what we're so big about is like, and I've heard this several times, like we always are conscious of what others think about us.
actually,
Yes,
yeah.
that's
You're an
true.
artist, you're in a
Yeah.
public service. So we do what we do because like someone told us or someone gave us a feedback. When are we going to stand and say like this is who I am, this is what I do? It's not I don't care, but this is what I believe.
I think that's through experience. If you already have so much experience, then that's the time you're gonna say that, you're not gonna be like conscious anymore because you already have that experience.
Mm.
So I think I'm still young, so I still
We're
have
all
that.
young.
Are you?
Forever,
In
yeah.
your own mind.
Yeah, young forever 21.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm still excited. I have to always be excited, so I will be motivated more, right? Because if you're not excited, you're gonna get bored. I
Mm.
think so. I have to be excited every day in order for me to be productive, in order for me to accomplish all my goals.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Yeah, that's really
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm.
It's really a conscious effort. No one can motivate you but by yourself.
Maybe a support from the family, from friends,
Yeah.
but the only, yeah, like what I've said, the only person that can be able to help is yourself.
So how what are we what like from your experiences though, how can we get away from let like others' judgment or what they think about us consume us, because that's what's happening. It does consume us, especially being in a different country. Like,
Mm.
yes, we call this home, but this is really our second home for Filipinos, right? So we're always conscious, like, and almost like try to measure ourselves what the others, like the other immigrants or the other
That's true.
culture being in a
Yeah.
Western, we do measure. Like, should we measure up, or should we just then be focused on bring out the standards so the others can follow us instead?
Well, that's a very good question also, right? Because if we will divert our discussion to an artist like the singer,
Mm,
those singer came out to the stage without thinking that way.
mm.
They're just showing their talent.
I want to serve this way by
Yes,
showing my talent.
yes,
Yeah.
and then there are lots of people who turn themselves into like them, who
Mm,
sing covering songs, cover songs, and everything, and they become more popular than the actual real singer.
mm,
They're like that's like they never thought that they become popular in 20 years from now, the original artist, right? And then right now, after 20 years later, like Freddie Mercury,
mm,
Mercury from Queen, right? He's becoming, I think this is his what, birthday or celebration this week, right?
yeah.
Because that's why he's in the social media world. And then I just read his uh, background where he
Mm,
came from. He was nobody
mm,
until the Live Aid, when they performed in the Live Aid. And then I didn't know he wrote the Bohemian Rhapsody.
mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then nowadays it's been played over and over again. It's been sing or it's been
It's
performed.
part of our history.
It's
Yeah.
part, and then
It's a
people doesn't really
legend.
know what it says in that song.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just good music to our ears,
Yes.
right? And then they're trying to motivate themselves to be like Freddie Mercury one day.
Mm,
They're doing the songs in the bands and everything like the Queen do before. But of course, they cannot duplicate the Freddie Mercury
but
Queen
what
band.
I'm picking up there is like it's good to have role model.
That's
It's
right.
good someone to look up to and say that that's the person who believes
Yeah.
in me
Like
and
an
I'm gonna push through.
inspiration.
Like you said, your father has actually inspired you to be
Yeah.
part
To
of,
be-
you know.
So if we're a parent, we're brothers, older sister, we have to form ourselves that think that people watching us shadow eyes should follow us one day,
Mm,
right? If you're like Mahal Hodson here trying to convey everyone that this is a good show for everybody, that
yeah.
open talking and everything,
Yeah.
one day there's a handful of other women will do like this also.
Yeah. It's like
That's what
they're
They
gonna
that's
have
what
to
we're
be they have
urging.
to be real.
Yes.
That's the real part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
they're gonna like duplication.
Yeah.
Like
Is it a good
sharing.
thing or a bad thing?
I think for me it's a good thing because
Yes.
it's like they're duplicating you to share
Mm.
to share to the community, right? To share
Mhm.
your talent to the community. And but I think there's also a downside, right? It's gonna be a competition, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
Competition is good. It's kind of like it forces you to get
oh yeah,
better
but I
and be
agree with
better
that. I
also.
agree
Well,
with
that's
that.
the other perspective. The other one is like, oh my gosh, like people are copying me. What I'm gonna do is kind of like a panic. But I think it goes back to what you're saying, that you need to know yourself. You need to know what you can offer, what you can do, and you know your kind of like your purpose. Talking about that, I think that's where the topic of motivation, like, why we do what we do and why we're here, what we're here for. It's kind of like it's almost when I ask people like that, it's like, what do you mean purpose? That's the reason why I'm doing a living is for my family. Like,
Yeah.
is that what it is?
I think for me, it's like because there's two kinds of motivation, right? The first
Mm,
one is intrinsic motivation, which is within you,
mm,
right? The extrinsic is the one that gives you reward.
mm,
So I think the motivation for me is to be satisfied with what I'm doing. When I'm satisfied, you're fulfilled. So I
mm-hmm,
think that keeps me going. The
mm-hmm.
satisfaction that I'm getting from what I'm doing.
And that goes kind of circle around that, judgment of others at what others tell you what you should be. It's like you're gonna go on a different path if you follow that, or believe in what you can do and influence on what they think that you actually can make it.
Yeah, that's true. I was telling this earlier to one friend of mine, and then I was telling him that we can never, once again, we can never please everybody.
Mm-mm.
Like,
And we should not be here pleasing everyone
we're not
anyways.
pleasing, but
Yeah.
I'm sure we are pleasing someone that we don't know, that
Ah,
we can't
interesting.
see,
Mm-mm.
but they are clapping their hands
Mm.
because we don't know who they are, what they are. Like now in Facebook, right now in YouTube, or any social media out there, it will come out later, right?
Mm-hmm.
It will distribute the a whole wide world, and then not everybody watching will like, will love, will
Mm-mm.
whatever's that in Instagram, what they call it. It's also like Instagram, right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
like, love, or
Yeah.
something. Not everybody, but for sure, when they get the message at the end of the show or at the end of the discussion, they will
Mm.
like it somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
They will hear it. And it may not be just one time.
Mm.
If you're doing this over and over again, same kind of motivation or same kind of showing to them that this certain thing motivated me to do so, and I'm hoping that this will motivate you also to do whatever you're thinking, not really for me
Mm-hmm.
running in the politics, right? But
Mm-mm.
if that makes sense, it will go. You can be motivated to run in your school as the president,
Mm-mm.
right? That's you start that way. I've never been a school president. I'm always a vice president, never been a president, and uh, and I never
Well, there
got the
always needs to
chairman.
assume a vice
Yeah,
president. So a president can be a president if there's no vice
Yeah.
I
president.
keep telling that to my daughters, like, no, I've never been a president, not in my life. But
Yeah.
I'm not aiming to become president because
Yeah.
that's hard work,
Yeah.
and you're not paid. Don't worry.
Like what Mild Hudson said a while ago, that there's like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that, that you do something that people doesn't know, and then it will come out eventually, I
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
It,
hard work, I guess.
it's a lot of hard work. I mean, like the things that you guys both do and do very different. And I always say it's a conscious effort. It's a decision. It's your choice
Mm.
and no one else. Like so, it's almost like when you fail, it's kind of like it's a good thing because you learn from it. But
Yeah,
not a lot of people pick that up. We try so hard not to fail,
yeah. Everybody wants that.
Mm.
right? Like
Yeah.
I
that's
think
the reason
especially
why
in
we're working so
in our
hard.
community, yeah.
Yeah, especially what made you say that?
Yeah.
Like yeah, like me before, when I was when I don't know about motivation, I don't know
Yes.
about it, right? So I feel, how do you say this? I'm scared of like
Keep on making you down.
yeah,
Pushing you down.
I mean
We do
scared,
all
but yeah,
experience that.
it's
People put you down.
yeah,
People put you down.
Yeah, don't
I'm
worry.
gonna be depressed. I'm gonna
It's
be
not the first
frustrated.
time. It's not the
Yeah.
third time.
Yeah.
But then, as time goes by, I realized that this failure will make you a better person. So,
It's almost a cliche, but it's true though, right?
mm,
Yeah, we
It is,
learn from our own mistakes because that's failure. That's what fails, right?
mm,
and it's also real that a lot of people will put you down. It's
mm,
either to satisfy their own ego or to kind of like make them feel better because there are people like that. On the other hand, the response to that is like, are
mm,
we going to allow that?
In the next stage or the next time.
And we're gonna learn. Well, in a way, we're learning that yes,
mm,
it somehow at some point it controlled us.
Yeah.
Like it made us do things that we probably don't want to do, but we don't know any better.
yeah.
It's almost like, is that an
But
excuse?
what if
Yeah.
if you do the same mistake again?
Shame on you.
Yeah, shame on
Once.
you. I keep telling this to my office mate, right? Because sometimes there are some new hired, and then I train them.
Mm,
I didn't say not to copy what I have done. You can copy it, but copy the good and
the
right
good
things
ones.
only. Don't copy my mistakes, okay?
I've learned from it. That's why I'm sharing you, sharing to you. Yeah.
When they shared it to me, I know this is mistake because I made this one. Come on, man, don't copy my mistakes. Correct it and let me know that I made a mistake because I don't see my own mistake.
You know, it kind of like the same thing that I know that for Filipinos that we're largely caregivers or contract workers, right?
Yeah.
But for history, we know that, and probably we've seen how they, thrived and how they kind of like become successful. And there are still happening in history. It's almost kind of like really a vicious cycle. It keeps on
It's a
repeating
cycle.
itself.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Same
So,
mistake again.
okay, how can we avoid that? What do we need to do?
Well, the first mistake is unavoidable because that happens already. Yeah.
It's
The,
given. It's
it's
probably you really
given,
don't know,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
The second time, you shouldn't make exactly the same mistake. It should be a little bit different
Or a different mistake for something you're
or
trying.
something
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
call it's gonna be insanity.
Yeah.
that's you can that's forgivable, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
you made second mistake exactly the same.
Yeah.
No, that's not forgivable then. But if you make a different mistake because you overseen the first part, that's fine. So the
Yeah.
third time, it should be a little bit better. I keep telling this to my daughter. It's like you in every year your grade goes higher, like from grade two, grade three. Now she's grade nine, right? So the first exam that she had in the geography, it was not a good mark.
Mm.
So I told her because if you ask me geography, and I don't know about geography in Canada,
Not here.
not here, but probably I can
In the
answer
Philippines,
you.
there's 7,100 islands.
Yeah.
They can just Google it.
Yeah.
Everything's
But,
in Google.
but guess what? On the next exam, she made it 100
Wow.
There you
flat.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I told her how to study. That's all we have to do. When we study, we focus, not with your iPhone in your ears and watching while reading. You just need to focus that.
Mm-hmm.
And then focus one thing at a time, advance reading and everything. That's how we study, and we get a good mark.
Mm-hmm.
Now if you fail and then you're studying, that's something different because you
Mm-hmm.
didn't study the right exam. But I'll tell you, I was a teacher. I kept telling her I was a teacher back then. We don't give exams that's not part of the chapters that you need to study. It's always in that chapter. So if you read chapter 1, 2, 3, the teacher will get the
You'll
exam 1, 2, 3.
And you'll
But
know.
and you'll know the answer if you read that over second time again. But if you read only once, chances are it will not go to your brain.
True.
The second time you will remember a little bit. The third time, that's you remember the whole thing, right? So
Adapting
was
that to life is like you're telling me like life itself is like it's open.
yes.
You just have to be prepared and prepare yourself as much as you can.
True.
But it can't be 100% that you're going to be successful when you do that. You continue and foraging, and it may direct you to a different direction, but it's going to converge into one
Yes, like
like
step by
goal in your
step,
life.
one
Yeah,
step at a
by
time.
yeah.
One step
yeah.
at a time. Yeah, you cannot jump to two steps at a time. Yeah.
Like little by little. It's
There's
like
no
a
shortcuts
routine.
in life.
Yeah, it's like a routine. Like
Yeah.
every single day you do this, and eventually I think you're gonna get there.
Just like you said, you have these habits of success that you're doing like, but before it became a habit, you have to do it like it's an effort, kind of like
Yeah.
every day. It's not easy though.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
you have to do it like 20 times before you get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the only thing that keeps me going in the morning is like what I've said, coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, before doing your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it drives me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then music, because I'm in the music industry, so I sing to motivate, I guess.
Yeah. It's almost focused on what you know that you can do and what you know that applies to you. Might be applicable to me, not to you, but it doesn't necessarily mean if I don't pick up what you're doing, I'm not going to be successful. But learn that you have those habits of successes. I keep on saying that, and I'll probably I'll have those, but in a different means and forms. But it's the same kind of like thinking, it's the same kind of like form,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that motivation, going back to motivation, we should motivate ourselves to go up every morning
True.
on the exactly the same time.
I like that. I
Every
like
morning
that.
the same time, not
Like set
today
alarm
6:15, tomorrow 6:20, and then 6:30, or push it to 6:50 because work doesn't start until 8 o'clock. So set the alarm clock at the same time every morning. Use the alarm clock. The body clock will wake you up, but not really
Yeah.
right on time.
It's like how you're going to design your life is up to you. So we'll be right back.
Absolutely.
Homecomings. Fresh starts. Goodbyes. Over the last 75 years, the unique warmth of our people has touched millions of lives.
The heart of the Filipinos shining through. Philippine Airlines shining through.
Brother, brother, love you, love you. If nothing in the world I have in my brother. Heaven smiling, I'm having my own brother. Take a chance on this bromance. You've got to take, you've got to take. Take a chance on this bromance. You've got to take, you've got to take. Take a chance on this bromance.
There's only one radio station in Canada that plays pure Filipino music.
Gagawin ko ang lahat para makapiling ka. Sa lahat ng babae, sa'yo lang kakaganito.
We are North America's #1 Filipino radio. Pinoy Radio. I love Filipino music. This program is brought to you by iRemit. Sa iRemit, may ngiti sa bawat padala.
12 episodes per season?
13.
13?
Yeah.
That's good.
And we are back. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Now.
So yes, we are, and we have. You guys are so funny and say like, "What are the questions?" I don't have questions. Oh, I don't have prepared questions. So we've learned so much.
We just need to be real, right?
You just need to be real. That's what Get Real in Mahal Hudson is all about. So people are listening. People got a lot of like wisdom from you guys. So what's the big advice for them to continue to be motivated in their life when life pushes you down?
Yeah, that's good. Should I answer that first?
Yeah, you answer it first.
Well, in day-to-day life, it's different in every person, right? So I would say from my side here, so I try to wake up, as I said, I try to wake up every morning the same time, but Saturdays and Sundays depends what I do for the rest of the day. Like today, I don't have schedule. So I have to do until 4 o'clock. So I did something, few errands, gas station, and do some vacuum the car. That wasn't planned. Yeah, I just woke up early because the time shifted, right? And everyone was still sleeping. So that wasn't planned. But on Mondays to Friday, I always have planned like 4:30 in the morning.
So you wake up 4:30 in the morning.
That's my
every
alarm.
day?
4:30 in the morning every day.
Wow.
So I get to work by 6 o'clock, probably sometimes 5:30, but at least 6 o'clock, I tell myself to be there at 6 o'clock because at 2:15, I go out to pick up so that I can be in school for 3 o'clock to pick up my youngest one. So that's what I do. But of course, before the very important thing for everyone is the nighttime before you sleep.
Okay,
you need to be aware what's your tomorrow.
So you prepare for today for tomorrow.
Yes, you prepare the day. Even if it's lunchtime, right now, today lunchtime, you're thinking for the next day. Am I working the same in this office today? Or am I going out to the field? Because we go out in the field, that's my part, my job, right? So I plan that. Should I do this work like the night before I sleep or the morning when I get to the office?
So why do you do that?
Oh, why do I do that? So that way we can plan everything. I don't write things like mark here, write on the paper and check mark task to do. And I've done the rest of the day. I try to write down everything, but I don't go back there and do some finished things.
It's different, but it's kind of like works for you though, right?
Yeah, it works for me, yeah. But if you got nothing to do for the next morning, at least you got nothing to do. You can listen to your music, I don't plan to listen to music the next morning like you. It's different for me. Yeah, that's what like for me is to plan the day after, not to rewind. What did I do yesterday? Should I do that again tomorrow?
You're
No, just
looking
plan it.
forward.
Yeah,
You're always
we look
looking forward. That's
yes.
really good. And you
Yeah.
have design. There's always plan B in life.
There's
Like,
always plan B. That's me. If I didn't win this election, that's okay. I go for
Yeah.
the next one.
yeah,
That's my next plan.
Yeah.
If I win this election and I become councillor, that's good. We'll have party for 30 days because I will start working the next day. So, but anyways, we need to have plan B all the time.
wow, yeah.
Yeah. If God gave us 30 days a week, a month rather, 30 days a month. If you cannot meet the first day of the month to pay your rent or to pay your bills and everything, that's your problem. You already know that 30 days ago. You should find a work for 30 days to pay that.
There's the plan.
Yeah.
It's so great. Like, and I'm just gonna share this quickly, but I love what you're saying that my husband and I have two different ideas about financial planning or planning for life. And since recently, like almost like 17 months ago, we had twins. Like life becomes so different, and now we have to plan every week, every Thursday. He said like Thursday we do our financial planning.
That's good. Weekly one, yeah.
Yeah, but it's so funny how it's still different perspective, but we committed in one thing that we need to do. It's so simple, but it makes makes a difference in our relationship, not just husband and wife now, as parents.
Yes, as
because
parents,
of a
yeah.
different kind of role. Thank you for sharing that.
For me, is staying motivated is set your priorities. Yeah, what is your priority one, priority two, priority three? So you're not gonna be overwhelmed at the end of the day, right? Because if you're overwhelmed, of course, you're giving stress to yourself, and that's where you're lessen your motivation. So just set your priorities, set your alarm clock, like what we're doing every single day, and have a routine that you think it's the best for you in a long term. And so just enjoy what you're doing and just focus on the positive side of everything. Yeah. So that's
It's amazing that when we're saying this, like these are our advice. It works for you, probably not, but it works for me, and that's the reason why you guys are successful in what you're doing. That it doesn't necessarily mean if you win the election or not. Like you're forging ahead, you're known in the community, right?
Yeah.
And with the things that like you do. But I think what we're sharing here is like make a time to plan, make a time to prepare. Life just not gonna happen just because you allow it to happen. You're
Yes,
letting
that's
life
right, yeah.
like happen for you, not let them control you.
And just be aware that no matter how much you make, no matter how much money you have, there's no such enough. You always need
true.
more. Yes. So if you're pushing for $3,000 a month, you're spending more than $3,000 or less, but you have to do a budget, right? Not just time, your money. You have to budget your money. That's second to time. First, budget the time. We only have 24 hours a day. I keep thinking that if we can only have 26 hours a day and work for 24 hours, that's relaxing.
But you're always gonna ask for more.
Yes,
Why
that's
can't
true.
you? Well, why can't we just be satisfied if we have 1 hour to
Satisfied
leave?
for what you have right now.
Well, that's the thing. If you have
Yeah.
1 hour to leave, what are you going to do?
take a break, unwind.
Yeah.
Go unwind, recharge yourself, to refreshing yourself. So when you go back to the reality, you're already, you're ready, right? So,
When I close my eyes, that's I'm taking break. That means I'm sleeping.
yeah.
You know what? It is important though, because we are a vessel of what we can do and we're going to serve others. Always go back when you say we need to be healthy enough in mind, body, and spirit.
True.
That is not a cliche, but that's the most important thing. You need to do that.
Balanced life.
A balanced kind of like life.
It's not a perfect life, but it's at least balanced life.
We need to open the heart, not the mind.
We need to
Open the heart. Open the heart.
To open the mind.
To command your mind to open it.
Yeah.
Not your mind to open your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To be successful
open-minded,
in anything. Right? Because that means you're happy.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
the most important thing, that you're happy with what you're doing.
And if you don't,
If
Go
you're
back
not
and then
happy,
plan again.
Yeah,
plan
plan
again.
again.
Plan for happiness either today or when you retire.
Plan and execute.
Plan and execute.
And then-
Not just think about it, just
That's
making sure
right.
you do it to put in action.
A lot of us plans for retirement,
Yes.
but not all of us plan what are we going to do when we retire.
Ah,
Travel.
very simple. Well,
No,
if that's what it
one
is.
thing.
Yes.
That's one thing, but when you retire, you need to plan ahead of time what you're going to do
I
when you
know.
retire, when you're in retire, because there's no way you're just gonna feed the dog and then or chicken or whatever you have at home, right?
Advanced
There's no way
thinking.
you will do that only.
Advanced thinking, advanced planning.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, well,
So
thank
much
you. This is
wisdom.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, look
I
at,
I
look at
really
us. We're
appreciate-
in the beautiful
I feel like
coffee
this is
shop.
a hot
That's
seat.
right. It's a hot seat.
Yeah.
I was thinking to have someone serving us espresso or something,
This
but
is espresso
Hello?
right here.
nobody came up. They don't want to be part of the camera here.
No, but again, I appreciate your time. I appreciate
Thank you
the
so much,
courage
Yeah,
and the
thank you.
wisdom also. And I really hope that all of you have gained so much. Think about this: life has no period. It depends on how we're gonna.
There's a
live
comma.
life. There's a comma. There's a dot kind of like all
Yes,
the time.
true.
May it be a question mark or exclamation mark. It's up to you. But it's really what Mark is saying, like, and Randy was saying. It starts in you. It starts from you. So have a good weekend, and I'll see you on. Well, next week is a replay, but our last for the season. Oh my goodness, I finished a season on November 18th.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Well, I'll see you guys on November 18th.
See you then.
Our world.